This is a Midwest Minute with Matt. Simple concussion conversations that just make sense. Before we get started, just a quick note. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not medical advice and does not replace evaluation or treatment from a qualified healthcare provider. Listening to this podcast does not establish a provider-patient relationship. Every brain injury is unique, and what we discuss may not apply directly to your situation. If you're experiencing symptoms or have concerns, please seek care from a licensed medical professional. If this is an emergency, call 911 or your local emergency services immediately. It's not that your brain can't function. The brain has a limited energy production, and overall, it's using more energy less efficiently following a concussion. The brain functions just like a low battery. It can handle the activities, it can go through the basics, but eventually, when the battery drains, that's when symptoms will spike. We discuss the difference a lot between physical fatigue and neurofatigue. Physical fatigue is, I had a rough day, I came home, I sat on the couch, I'm like, man, that was tough. Give me a couple seconds, couple minutes, and I'll be back up and I'll do the rest of my stuff that I had to do today. Neurofatigue is like a bug on a windshield. You're moving through your day, things are going fine, then all of a sudden you smack that windshield, and now I'm dizzy, I'm nauseous, I'm disoriented, I can't concentrate, and I'm just down for the rest of the day, or maybe a couple days as the body tries to replenish that energy. The energy crisis after a concussion is something that's really challenging for people to navigate, and it's why doing the exact same thing every single day may make you feel different afterwards. I will venture to say it is one of the hardest things for patients to learn and to grasp as they're going through their own concussion recovery, is that energy expenditure, energy production, and energy available will change every single day. Everyday tasks cost more. Conversations, screen time, single tasking, going out with friends, being around busy environments. Everything will require energy to be around or be involved in. Well, when there's a limited amount of energy to go around, the body will prioritize systems that will be used to keep us upright and keep us alive. In the big picture, the only thing that the brain cares about is the heart and lungs. As long as the heart and lungs are working, everything else that makes up who we are as a person or who we are as an individual is considered luxury. One of the hardest things that the brain actually does is that process between what we think in our head and actually saying it out loud. It's a really big energy expenditure. Something people will notice is that when there's a limited energy available, or we're having a day where we don't feel like we're doing the best, we will struggle with word find. We'll struggle with making sure carrying on conversations, we're answering questions as they come up. We will struggle with being able to tell you, hey, you know what? I can see everything about a pen. I can tell you what it is. I can tell you how to use it. I can tell you why I need it. But if you tell me to say the word pen, I cannot remember the word pen. Complex systems tend to get shut down when there's no energy available to us. And that's why the simple tasks can make us feel so run down. You know, people will complain about, I got up off the couch and I'm lightheaded. I get up and I walked up the stairs and I feel short of breath. Those things are very common after a concussion, that when there's no energy available or where there's limited energy, we don't have the ability or capacity to do things for a longer period of time. Early on in your concussion recovery, it's why most people crash right away. It's why as they're going through and they're learning what they can and can't do, we have more difficult days in the beginning of concussion recovery versus the end. A lot of it has to do with learning where those tolerance levels lie, learning what symptoms or what triggers that the body has, and learning the signs that the body will give you that we're hitting that energy expenditure. If I give a patient 10 things to do for the next 10 days, they may feel 10 different ways afterwards. And that's one of the more frustrating parts for me as helping somebody navigate through concussion recovery, let alone you on your own concussion recovery journey. Symptoms are often delayed after a concussion or after you're doing an activity because the body is trying to use the energy that it has stored throughout the body. One of the more challenging aspects of the energy crash is, yeah, I listened to my body, I did things, as soon as symptoms went up, I stopped, or I didn't have any symptoms at all while I was doing it, but now that I got home 2 hours later, I'm on the couch and I can't see straight. The delayed onset of symptoms after energy depletion is scary for people because I was feeling fine. I went to bed feeling great. Now I woke up today and I can't do anything today. I can't get up out of bed. It's why when we're talking to our patients about what's bothering them, it's one of the hardest things that they have to explain to people around them that may not understand what they're going through or what brain injury recovery actually looks like. Because why could I go out with friends on a Friday, but now you ask me to go out and see my family a Saturday morning and I can't? Why could I hang out with my friends at church on Sunday, but I couldn't go to work on Monday? It's one of those balancing acts that people that aren't involved in the recovery or are on the outside looking in can't see, that while you were out with friends, you were struggling with comprehension. You were answering questions to conversations that happened 5 minutes ago. You were struggling with word find, that we burn through all of the stored energy that we have to try to appear quote unquote normal for a couple hours. And now we have to push back and we have to, deal with that energy depletion. That's this concept of energy depletion and not having the energy available is why pushing through things backfires. The more you push through symptoms, the harder activities are, the faster that energy system becomes drained. Once the energy drains, it's hard to get that energy to fire back up. There are a lot of different analogies that we can use to talk about the energy expenditure, the energy demand available to us after a concussion. One of the most common ones is the spoon method. Let's say you start the day with 12 spoonfuls of sugar. Everything that you do requires me to pour some of a spoonful of sugar into a jar. When we're healthy, we've got 12 big heaping spoonfuls and we can go through our day without problems. Getting up and getting ready for work takes a half a spoonful. Driving to work takes a spoonful. Being at work takes 4 spoonfuls. And as the day goes on, as long as I hit the end of the day, still having spoonfuls available, I can continue to function. After a brain injury, those 12 spoonfuls, you only start with 6. Or on Monday, you started with 10, but on Wednesday, you start with 4. Now we have to figure out what activities we're doing are costing us how much energy on a regular basis. And that can be very challenging for people. An analogy I like to use is the battery theory. We've got 3 different sets of batteries. You've got A batteries, B batteries, and C batteries. Our A batteries are like AA batteries. Really fast burning, really fast output, and they function for a lot of different things. Our B batteries are kind of like 9-volt batteries in a smoke detector. Not a whole lot of force output to them, but they run for a long time. You don't really have to change them. You monitor them every 6 months. You change them out. They don't have a lot of performance to them, but they have a lot of longevity. C battery is like your car battery. High output, but it drains very, very slowly. That draining slowly, though, it takes a long time to recharge a dead car battery. All day, we're burning through our A batteries very quickly. That same analogy of me getting up and getting ready for bed will burn through my A batteries. Me getting up and going to work will burn through my A batteries. Now being at work will eat into my B batteries. Carrying on conversations, carrying on simple tasks during work will make the B batteries run and fire. All the while that B battery is draining down. Once I deplete my B battery, I get into those C batteries. Those C batteries may not be designed to keep me functioning for a longer period of time, but they are high energy and expenditure outputs. It's why, as people are moving through their day, when they start to deplete energy, there are a lot of people that will describe, hey, towards the end of the day, I was feeling pretty good. Like I got up and I had a lot of energy and I was doing things, and then the crash happens. It's because those C batteries are survival batteries. I have to get through, I have to navigate this, I have to survive. Well, once we deplete one of those type of batteries, we have to wait till the level below it completely recharges. So if I burn through my A batteries and B batteries and then get down to 15% of my C battery, now I have to hook up the trickle charger and I have to slowly charge that C battery back up until it completely replenishes. Then my B can replace, then my A can replace. Both the battery method and the spoon method are ways that we explain the energy expenditure and the energy demand that each task will take. How do we replenish our spoonfuls, or how do we recharge batteries? It goes back to the basics. We have to sleep well, we have to eat well, we have to hydrate well, and when the system starts to get overwhelmed, we have to do things to calm our system down. Pushing through symptoms drains the batteries. It drains your system, and symptoms will increase significantly. Instead of pushing through symptoms, we have to employ the method of pacing. We have to take things one step at a time. Control our environment, control our tasks, control our stimulus, and take frequent breaks throughout the day. Early on, most people will keep limited activity. I don't feel good, so I don't do a whole lot. I lay down, I sleep, I kind of rest. As we start to feel better, there is an influx of activity that we do. We feel better, we do more. When we do more, that generally leads to symptoms increasing, and then the crash happens. So we have to balance that doing too much without doing not enough. Concussion recovery is a fine line between doing too much and not enough. We have to establish where that fine line comes into play. And that's where pacing can be your best friend throughout the day. Set a timer for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes, for an hour. Every time that timer goes off, I don't care what you're doing, I don't care where you are. Make a note of what you were working on at work, leave the environment, control your stimulus, and go through and take 5 minutes. Breathe, relax, even if you're feeling perfectly normal. Physically get up, walk to a calmer environment, get away from that stimulus. Make sure that our systems are doing okay. If we need to work on calming exercises or techniques, we can calm our system down, and then we can resume activity. By pacing, it helps cut down the unknown of symptoms spiking after the activity or after what we were doing, and helps us prevent the crash that can happen when we deplete our energy available. In the big picture, you're not lazy, you're not weak. Your brain is working with less energy available, and over time, it will improve and continue to increase its energy production. But right now, your brain is not functioning at 100% capacity. Pace yourself, be nice to yourself. Once you understand that, you can start working with your brain instead of against it. This has been a Midwest Minute with Matt. Simple concussion conversations that just make sense. If this helps something click, share it with somebody who needs it. You can learn more and follow along on all of our social media accounts at MW Concussion. You can also check out our website at www.mwconcussion.com. If you have any questions or you want something covered on a future episode of the podcast, reach out. Send me an email, DM me, and I will answer any questions that come up. Because if you have a question about something, so does somebody else, and they may not have the person to ask. My name is Matt Campbell. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week on A Midwest Minute with Matt. Simple concussion conversations that just make sense.